Hello everybody and welcome back. I am here to announce the release of Minecraft Beta and Preview 1.19.60.20. First off, we're starting off with a quick note. This week's preview version is not going to be available for iOS. Mojang apologizes for the issue and they're working to solve it. However, it hasn't been solved yet. So if you're an iOS user and you want to check out this preview, then you won't be able to do that just yet. Anyways, some more big news before we get right into all the changes is, as you heard me say, it's 1.19.60.20. We've moved away from 1.19.50.la-di-da. Which is of course amazing because this means that we are getting extremely close to the release of Minecraft 1.19.50, and we might see that next week, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, or if we're unlucky, the week after that. But remember to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll get notified once I release a video on that, because I will make a video on that the second it comes out. Anyways, for this preview, we've got the same that we've been seeing for the Minecraft Java 1.19.3, we've just gotten pre-release 2 as well, which I'm going to cover a video on in a moment. Anyways, mob heads on note blocks. So now when placing a mob head on a note block, that note block will now play one of the ambient sounds of that mob when played by a player or powered by redstone. So obviously that is really cool. We've been seeing that. We've got of course the piglin mob head, which is going to be added as well. So piglins will now drop their heads when killed by a charged creeper. Placing the piglin head on a note block will play one of the piglin's ambient sounds, and the piglin head will flap its ears when powered by redstone on worn by a player. Alright, then we've got some changes to the bamboo wood set and raft, quite a few actually. So, they've added the block of bamboo, which can be crafted from 9 bamboo. They've added all the other blocks of well. They've rotated the textures of bamboo planks to match the style of other plank blocks. They've updated the bamboo raft and bamboo raft with chest item icons to make them more in parity with Java Edition, I believe. And they've recolored the scaffolding texture to match the bamboo wood set colors, which is of course really cool that we're going to be able to see that. So the scaffolding, instead of being so yellow, is going to be much more green now. Something I really hope we're going to get is Instamine scaffolding on Bedrock Edition. That's a feature we really need. Anyways, so for the chiseled bookshelf, we've got some unique sounds for the chiseled bookshelf. Chisel bookshelf now fills when dropping books into a connected hopper, and when a chisel bookshelf is connected to a hopper, only books are transferred and no other items. Next up, for the hanging signs, the hanging sign map colors now match sign map colors. Hanging signs now use the correct texture for its jungle variant, and the jungle hanging sign iron chain now actually has a texture. Anyways, then we've got a bit of a list of changes for the camel too. So the camel texture is up to parity with Minecraft Java Edition. That stuff is always nice to see. The player can now sprint when riding a camel, even if they have low hunger. Players riding a camel now sit in the correct position. Previously, you might have seen one of my videos that looked very weird. Baby camels have been made slightly smaller, so their hitbox, I believe, could be matched more closely to the size of blocks, which is of course always pretty nice. And you know, the camel is so large, and the baby was so large too, that a small downsize doesn't really matter. Anyways, Skulk sensors can now also detect camels walking, jumping, sitting down, and standing up. Anyways, then we've got a few more bug fixes and things like that, not relating to the experimental features. So we've got a bunch of changes to the spawn eggs. So they've added spawn eggs for ender dragons, iron golems, snow golems, wither mobs in creative mode, which is amazing. They've added textures for those as well, and they've changed the color of the polar bear spawn egg. We've got a few bug fixes for Android as well, so the device screen will no longer automatically turn off while a world is loaded. This is amazing news. I don't play on Android anymore. I used to a lot, but I'm very happy that this is now the case for all you guys that play on Android. They've updated the splash screen to be consistent between Android 12 Plus and older devices. Next, we've got some changes to some blocks as well, so entities no longer get pushed out by doors activated by redstone signals. Using the pick block functionality on fern and grass now selects the correct item in the inventory instead of the first one between them. This is amazing. This bug has been around for a really long time, and we've got a few more fixes to the pick block functionality as well. Next, they've fixed the bamboo plant arrangements. All mobs are now able to path through wither roses. Stone walls are now placed correctly in a line when continuously placing them, and when teleporting a group of leased mobs using /TP at E, will no longer unleash all the mobs. Few more bug fixes: that axolotls no longer tick their dry out when the timer when unloaded. Tropical fish no longer use surface density limits when spawning underground, and husks can now fit in a 2-block high space and baby husks in a 1-block high space. I always thought this was really weird, you know, husks couldn't fit, but now they do. Then we've got that villagers will now take damage from lightning bolts, and villagers will now ensure that rain can pass through the block above them before launching fireworks when celebrating after a raid victory, which, if you don't know, was an added feature relating to the Java parody a few weeks ago. They've also fixed multiple crashes, and we've got some more changes to the user interface and touch controls. This is a really long preview this week, guys. Anyways, that's making up for last week's one, I guess. Lastly, we've got a few more vanilla parody changes. So pumpkins and melons can now grow on mycelium and moss blocks. This is all parody, by the way, with vanilla parody with Minecraft Java Edition. Beacon effect particles are now transparent, conduit effect particles are now also transparent, and executing the /say command via the new execute syntax now displays the entity's name that produced the message. Amazing. Then we've got a whole list of technical updates and technical experimental features such as the API. I'm not gonna check out all that and stuff because I don't really know what half of it is about. The changelog is linked in the description if you want that, and then from there you can check everything out, check maybe one or two unimportant things I skipped over, as well as the technical updates. Anyways, that's probably one of the longest previews we've had in a long time, which is definitely not a bad thing. Anyways, for right now, thank you guys ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.